It's been a while, and it's Milana Mil, and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm doing some comic paneling designing, if you could call it that. Basically, for the longest time, I've wanted to do a comic, but I've never really gotten around to doing so because I've never had a good idea, but I actually think that I figured it out. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna start doing the comic right now, because I do have the basic plot points figured out, like the major things that you need to know to move the plot along and to reach to the ending, but I still need to figure out what I'd like to call the transition points, which are kind of like the things that happen in the middle. So even though I have the basic plot designed, I still do not have the other necessary things, which are like dialogue and more in-depth writing towards the comic. But you know, I figured that while I'm writing the comic, I could also do some practicing and designing and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what we are doing this time. And there's also a small announcement before I move forward, which is I'm thinking about changing my schedule, meaning that I'm gonna try to do 2 or 3 videos a month, because I've noticed I'm the kind of person who values, well, I've always been the kind of person who values quality over quantity. And I've noticed that because I try to do videos every week, I'm not just trying to fill the quality quotas, but also the quantity ones. And I just feels like it makes my content suffer. I have these months where I'm like super productive and I can just make, you know, things. But then I also have these months that I just kind of get lost and don't know what to do. And recently it's been like that. Like for a few months I've been kind of burned out because I've tried so hard to like fill the once a week video thingy, but you know, ended up burning myself out. So I'm thinking about cutting myself some slack and trying to do 2 or 3 videos per month. Okay, that would be easier for me because then I can actually focus on quality, because in the past I've realized that, you know, I start drawing picture, I draw the picture, I edit the video, and it takes me like all of this, it takes me the whole 7 days, and then right after I've posted the video I should already have an idea, like a snap, okay, and it's a snap idea draw video, and sometimes it just takes like a couple of days, or you know, to get the new idea or get to the mood. Like it's really like I start to feel like I'm some sort of machine, and then I realize that no, I'm actually a human. Something like this. But, you know, I hope you guys don't hate me for it. At least I hope that it will improve the quality of my videos a little bit. And there's something that I wanted to talk about. This specific drawing that I'm making, it's really no relation to my comic. The character is from my comic, yes, but this doesn't have really any plot to it, and it's not related to the comic itself. It's just something that I drew for fun, because how would I say it? Basically, damn it, Jesus, I cannot look at my own speed paint while I'm recording, because then I start to stare at it and I lose the sight of what I was talking about. But yes, anyway, what I was supposed to talk about was that I've been wondering for some time that if I'm gonna do comic, how am I gonna do it? Because I hate doing line art. I absolutely hate doing it, and I hate inking, and I want to do a comic in colors. But then I'm just like, well, you know, if I'm gonna do sketch and then I'm gonna color the sketch, what's gonna end up happening is that I'm gonna treat my sketch as if they were line art, and I'm gonna spend just as much time on the sketching process as I would if I was doing an actual line art. So I'm just like, okay, well, what am I gonna do? And the only solution is that, oh, I'm gonna paint my comic. The only thing though is that it's time consuming. You know, that's why most comics are done in black and white, so you don't have to spend so goddamn much time. But I think I actually kind of figured my way around it. I'm zoomed in so much that you don't actually kind of see. Well, you kind of do see, kind of don't, whatever. But I've been thinking about what my friend actually called it cinematic paneling, which is that instead of doing the sort of traditional paneling, I would just kind of treat each panel as if it was a screen, like a computer screen or television screen, or you know, individual picture. So I wouldn't have to worry about like transitions, and what I mean by transitions is like, you know, how the eye flows from one panel to another, because you kind of have to design the panels nicely so that the eye can go from panel 1 to panel 2 to panel 3. So instead I would just, they would all be kind of piled on the top of each other. So the only thing you would basically have to do is just, first panel is the top one, second panel is the middle one, third panel is the bottom one. So you can just scroll down and read it. You don't really have to do anything else. And that's what I was thinking of doing, because I realized that it actually saves me a lot of time. Now, you do need to know, with regular paneling, the thing is that you also need to know how you draw the picture in the panel. Of course, this applies to when you're drawing regular illustrations as well. So it's kind of like how you're gonna fit what you want in the panel. And I have to think about that too, but it's a lot more limited, you know. I just have to make a good use of the space that I have, and I'm pretty much set, you know. I don't have to spend so much time on the layout when I can just get straight to the drawing, and that would be very good for me if I plan to paint my comic. And I personally think that the outlook is pretty nice. Now, the only issue I have with the third panel is that I made it a lot more smoother than the first two panels, and that's kind of distracting me, to be honest. And I still cannot really figure out my style or how I want to do it. I have like the image in my mind, but then when I try to put it on the canvas, it never works out, and I'm just so frustrated with it. But I will keep trying my best, just kind of going back and forth, and that's also why I figured that I would probably do more of these sort of panel practices, because they do have, you cannot call that a story, but it's like a series of pictures that kind of gives a good practice, because then you can practice framing, and you can also practice like poses and stuff like that. So I think that these type of comic panel things, they're actually kind of fun and good to do. So I think I'm gonna stick to it, and I hope that you are gonna like it. If I do make the comic after when I've done writing it, I hope you guys read it, and I hope you guys hopefully enjoy it. Let's just pray that I actually get to do it, instead of being like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then like 3 years later it's like, I never did. But this time I'm actually serious. I plan to do it. I have my friends helping me, and I will make sure that they push me forward and kick my ass if I need kicking in the ass. And you know, I don't think I actually have anything else to talk about. I kind of feel like these videos, like they're 10 minutes, but they're still too short for me, because I have so much to talk about, but then in the end I run out of things to speak about. So that's kind of a weird irony going on, but you know. Anyway, this video is almost ready. I've done all the panels. I hope you enjoyed the ending results. And by the way, I still have my 500 subscriber thing open, so join that, and I hope to see you next time, and bye bye.